After coaching more than 100 high achievers as a corporate leader and a coach, I can tell you with certainty what's stopping you from reinventing your life and career isn't a lack of resources or opportunities. It's definitely not lack of ambition. It's actually fears. Five very specific ones that high achiever don't even realize they have. Because when they show up in your life, it doesn't feel like fear. It feels like logical decision, like you're being responsible. Every year, you're staying in a misaligned life and a career that doesn't truly feel like yours. You're funding someone else's dream. And the version of you that wants more from life, that wanted to make more impact, it can't reach you because you are too busy performing your old self. So in this video, I'm going to share these exact 5 fears and shift that you need to break out of them so that you can finally move with confidence. Let's unpack them. The first fear, clarity trap. I need to figure out everything before I start. Sounds responsible, feels strategic, but it's a trap. Clarity is never the starting point. It's always a result of starting and taking action. Professor Herminia Ibarra from London Business School have identified the same fear being present in individuals from her decades of research on career reinvention. Think about it. You don't figure out how to swim by standing at the edge of the swimming pool analyzing the water. You learn swimming by getting into the water. So if you find yourself spending months, sometimes even years, planning, researching, strategizing before you feel ready, think about it, what's happening underneath. The issue is not that you need a clarity. The real problem is you have the fear of failure. Think about your 20s when you were building your life. You didn't have the full clarity. At that time, all you had was desperation, urgency, and momentum. You knew that things could go wrong down on the line, but you also believed that you could figure out because you had that desperation. So what's the difference now? The difference is, unlike your 20s, you have a bit more to lose now. You have developed an identity, a stable life and career, a version of you that people respect. So your brain is wired to protect that version of yourself. So it tells you, be smart now, don't make any rush decision. But you need to trust that this is your brain's way of protecting what's familiar, predictable, and safe. So your brain isn't protecting you anymore right now, it's paralyzing you. The micro shift you need right now. Stop asking yourself, what's the full plan? Instead, ask yourself, what is that one move I can make right now if I trusted myself to figure out later? Clarity is never the requirement, courage is. But the moment now you consider moving, the next fear shows up. Second fear, loss illusion. I'll lose everything I have built. This one runs deep in high achievers. You spend 15, 20, sometimes even more years of your life to create what you have right now, a stable life, a career, accomplishments that you are really proud of. So at this point, reinventing your life and career, pivoting, can feel like you're setting everything on fire, but it's not. In psychology, there is a concept called identity foreclosure. In simpler terms, it means you have committed a version of yourself, an identity, without ever exploring it or questioning if it was truly yours. So from outside, it can look like success, but from inside, it almost feels like a performance, like you're living someone else's life. Reinvention at this stage isn't a destruction. In fact, it's integration. You are not losing your past, you're simply carrying it forward. Every skills, every lessons learned, every experience become your leverage. The only thing you're losing is your old self that no longer fits into your dream life and a career. The micro shift you need right now. Anytime the thought comes to your mind, I'm starting over, reframe and tell yourself, I'm not starting over, I'm simply starting from my experience. But most people stop here. Please don't. Fear number 3, the messy middle. Here, confusion gets its highest peak. You start questioning everything in life. Sometimes it feels like to you you're going in a wrong direction. At times it feels like you're going even backwards. So let's understand what's happening at this stage. From neuroscience point of view, this is the in-between stage, the transition stage, where your new identity hasn't fully formed yet and you're still letting go of your old familiar past. So at this stage, as you start making changes in your life, your brain starts to create new neural pathways. At times it can feel like uncomfortable, unknown, even foggy, because your brain cannot predict its familiar old pattern anymore. Let me explain with an example. Think of bodybuilding. If you wanted to build muscle, you go to the gym, you start lifting weights. What happens in the initial stage? You don't feel great. You feel uncomfortable, you feel pain, and the soreness in your body the next day. Let's not even talk about that. So, at the initial stages of your bodybuilding, your muscle tears up so that it can reconstruct itself. The identity evolution works the exactly same way. Here's an interesting stat. Based on research, it was identified that around age 36, people experience most identity uncertainty. When I read this stat, definitely it resonated with me. So confusion isn't a detour. In fact, it's a roadmap to create an authentic life and career that truly feels like yours. So here's the micro shift for you. Anytime at this stage feels like messy, tell yourself, messy means I'm growing. Give yourself a pat on the back. But even if you push through this fear, the next one keeps people stuck at the longest. Fear number 4, sunk cost. I have already invested way too much to change direction at this stage of my life. You invested years of your life, energy, financial to create some sort of a stability that you have right now. So trust me, changing direction at this stage can feel like a complete waste, but it's not. From a neuroscience point of view, this experience is known as status loss effect, perceived loss. Let me explain. When you're making changes to create a more authentic version of your life, it lights up a part of your brain called amygdala, the same area known as brain's threat detection center. So when you're making these changes, your brain doesn't know whether it's a real or it's a perceived. So it tries to prevent you. It tries to protect you from that unknown, that uncertainty. So here's the reframe. Your past investment isn't a waste. In fact, it's a foundation for you to create a life, a version of yourself that is more authentic. It will be only waste if you're staying in this path right now that no longer true to yourself. Trust me, every single achiever I have worked with, as they move through these fears, as they go through the reinvention stages, their life feels like more integration. It's an expansion to already what they have. Here's the micro shift for you. You're not wasting your past investment. In fact, you're finally putting it to use. Every skill, every lessons learned becomes your unfair advantage, not baggage. Even if you have moved through the first 4 fears, the 5th fear is the sneakiest of all. Fear number 5, the permission trap. I need people around me to understand first. So you wait. You wait for their approval, support. You wait for them to see what you see. But they won't. Not yet. Because your growth initially will disrupt their version of you. In fact, research shows sometimes people who are closest to you will be the last one to support you. Not because they don't love you, but they're also fearful to lose a version of yourself that's familiar to them. You don't trust me? Let me explain. Think of a time when you wanted to lose weight. You decided enough is enough. From tomorrow, I'm going to be on my A game. I'll start eating healthy. I'll go to the gym, I'll go to walks, and I'll incorporate a new healthy lifestyle. You'll see that's the time initially your loved one, whether it's your partner or mom's, decided to make your favorite meal. Your friends wanted to take you to your favorite restaurant. All the resistance start coming initially because they are familiar with the version of yourself that enjoy that food, that enjoy that meal, that enjoy that company. So they are fearful of losing that version. That doesn't mean that you need to abandon your relationship. All it means that you need to stop outsourcing your permission to evolve your life. The microshift helps you at this stage. You need to tell yourself the only permission I need right now is a permission from myself and my self trust that I can move through these changes even though at times it feels fear and unknown. Now you know these 5 hidden fears that keeping you stuck in life and how to spot them as they show up in your life. Having awareness and mindset shift is the very first step for you to start creating the new identity, the version of yourself that truly feels authentic. But that's not going to be enough to create a long lasting, sustainable change in your life. So in my future video, I'll be unpacking each of these fears in much more detail to give you practical, proven strategies and tools. So stay tuned and hit the subscribe button if you wanted to follow along. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself and trust that inner whisper when it tells you you are meant for more. Ciao.